Well. If it isn't another day of streaming and the like. Yep, today it's playing some Chaos Zero Nightmare while I don't know, just talk about the new character reveal and everything. As well as I was thinking about it. Maybe I should play a little bit of Slay the Spire 2, but I'm not sure. Hello, Wilson Wiz. How's it going? Hello. Well. Indeed, well. It's my favorite saying to just well my way into situations. Let's see if I can boot up the game and everything in the meanwhile. How are you doing? How are things? Did you see the new character PV? Otherwise, I'm going to be talking about it anyway. I'm still thinking about it, and I'm still thinking about whether or not I roll for Typhira. I don't know. I'm always like on the edge about it because I think the live stream for it is going to happen like around like when we swap over is going to happen around the same time the update is coming out, or at least it's like right before. So it's like hardly any time to think about whether or not I actually want to roll for Typhira or not. Which isn't ideal. Let's see. Oh, I have no audio for the game. Girl, come talk to you on the streets. Well, isn't you a beauty? Okay. I don't know about that one. I more or less just use it as a, as my intro, I guess. It's now inherently or innately tied to me. So that's how, at least, I've inferred it. I don't know. I don't know where I picked it up from, actually. I just kind of started saying it one day, and then that was that, you know? That's just how it ended up being. I was thinking of doing a couple of, like, committed hits today. I've created a bit of a better deck for Cassius. Now, I don't know if it's actually going to be that much better. It still doesn't use a whole lot of morale cards, which is the main downside. Like, I thought, oh yeah, I'll be able to draw into my other cards and then use Dice Trick, and that at least gives me a couple of one-cost uses. But it is, I don't know, it's not ideal. I'm gonna do a practice run or whatever on the hard difficulty, and then I'll see about it on hell difficulty? But we'll see. Either that, or I do, like, just a couple of runs, and then I, whatchamacallit, I maybe try out Slay the Spire 2 on stream. I'm not sure. I've been playing it a little bit, but I feel like my thoughts when it comes to Slay the Spire 2 are not fully there yet. Like, it is a bit conflicting, right? Because with Slay the Spire 2, it's technically in early access, so attempting to judge it before I'm fully aware of what the game might end up being like is not really what I want to do. Oh, we can do tactical maneuver. We're just gonna do this first, I think, and then try to draw. Okay. Yeah. Create 2 homing laser. I'm quite fond of this deck, mainly because of how much stuff I have to kind of facilitate it. It just draws me into so much AP, it's nuts. Oh, it's CZN Day. Indeed it is! You two actually missed my stream yesterday where I was doing a Virgil voice on Devil May Cry for like an hour straight, so my voice still hasn't fully recovered. It's still slightly in pain, but I tried. I'm still struggling with the game. If you need any help, just like feel free to let me know. Virgil voice? Yeah, Virgil voice. It was mainly because whatchamacallit? Mainly because I began playing on Virgil's campaign, and I told stream at one point I will absolutely do a voice impression of him, but I don't know. I was told that I sounded more like Solid Snake trying to do an impression, and I was like, no way. No way I sound like Solid Snake trying to do that. Oh gosh, wait, can I... I don't think I can just get into this. No, I think that's my draw. Yeah, people from my new job, including higher-ups, invited us to a bar, so felt like I shouldn't decline the first invitation and seem rude. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, I completely get that. It's always like a common courtesy as well to at least try, you know, interact and engage with colleagues and everything, so no sweat, no sweat. I get it completely. I'm usually a little bit of a recluse myself. That's probably why I take on wanting to be a bit of an otaku, so I stay home alone quite often otherwise. Oh, actually. Oh, never mind. I think I can do 2 here into this. But, did you enjoy the food either way, then? I think one of the main reasons to do those things is just because of, oh my gosh, I love getting free food. But I don't know if you get free food necessarily by just joining your colleagues when going to the bar. It's, still nice if that's the case, you know? Even if it wasn't, oh, it was just drinking, basically. Oh, fair enough, fair enough. I mean, getting snacks and everything, or whatever. You know, I think my mind is always just dead set on getting food whenever I'm drinking. I'm like, oh, you know, I might be drinking a bit, but I still really like having something to snack on in the meanwhile. I got food on the way home, and your stream was done by the time that I got back. Ooh, unfortunate. Sorry. I was thinking about maybe continuing streaming, but at the same time, I think everyone had basically signed off for that time, so I was like, oh, okay, I'll just, like, leave it as is for then. So I didn't, like, continue streaming then. I feel like I'm always in a little bit of this, like, deliberation phase, where if I continue streaming, is it worth continuing it now, or do I just go back to editing or something like that? So I decided that evening that I was, or that stream that I was going to focus instead on just, I don't know, editing my videos or whatever. So that's what I went with. It turned out okay otherwise. But yeah. Next time I'll give you a heads up to fix your online to accommodate my schedule. You know what? True! I have actually been contemplating, and now this is like half unrelated, but semi-related to this, where I was contemplating to myself, should I actually be, oh, my draw deck is empty. Should I actually be streaming earlier or later? That I'm, not sure of. I was thinking, like, maybe it would have been good of. I would like to inform you that I will be streaming Resident Evil 2 on Saturday. I hope it goes well, Virgil. I hope it goes well. I don't want to use that just now. It's so unfortunate that my hand just ended up being nothing. But, yeah, usually this time slot works pretty well for me. I hope so. I feel like, I think Twitch, the research tab or whatever, was recommending, oh, you should be streaming, what was it? Like 3 hours earlier than now, and that was like really difficult to do for me because it's just, that is cutting it short, you know, like 3 hours earlier. I don't know, that's difficult with my schedule. I bought Dying Light 2. I actually am playing the first game by myself. Dying Light, I don't know why I never played it. It is actually so good. It's crazy how good Dying Light actually is. It's from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. That's a pretty reasonable time slot. I tried picking something that Twitch kind of guessed was a good time slot. I mean, like, it's kind of difficult as is to swap between multiple different games and then trying to make sense of what a good time schedule is, but for sure. Drop kicking zombies is very fun, right? I love the ragdoll physics as well when you just drop kick them and it sends them flying. Like, it's really exaggerated, but it's so good. Saturdays are weird though because it's suddenly earlier. Yeah, that's because I actually have a tabletop session with some friends, like right around that time, which is unfortunate. So I'm not able to stream at that time, which is why it's so weird. So that is unfortunately the case. For real, yeah. I mean, plus some of the weapons I thought in Dying Light were really cool. Though, one thing that I find is, like, sort of unfortunate is that when playing Dying Light, it reminded me a lot of Dead Island. And then for Dead Island, I think the weapons were so much more cool, but also they were way more wacky, and I kind of like that. Why not put your off day on Saturday then and stream Sunday instead? Possibly. Possibly. The whole reason why I take my off day on Sunday is actually because I'm basically hibernating. I edit my videos and I wake up at ridiculous hours because I'm going to sleep at ridiculous hours, and then I need to readjust my schedule for the rest of the week. I do agree with you, though, that maybe I need to move my schedule around and see what works best, because it's not exactly working the way I want it to as it is currently. I do think that my schedule could be better. Just with when I edit or whenever I stream, like maybe I should be streaming earlier. Also, this is a really tough question. Which cards do I go for here? And I think I draw Devil Dice and try get both of them. Yeah, and then I can homing... Yeah, okay. I've cracked the code. And that's exactly what I'm doing. But yeah, maybe it's worth bringing up as, like, if I do change my schedule, how best would I change my schedule? Because to the rest of you guys, now since Helios has mentioned it, how do you feel the schedule is for you? Do you feel like I stream too early or too late, or do you prefer that it's at this hour, whatever? That's also difficult to know, because, like, I don't have one channel, so to speak, where I can make a poll or so to try figure out. Saturday is also a bad day to stream in general. No, most people will be out meeting friends or whatever, so I'd assume average viewer count to be down on Sundays in general, or Saturdays in general. Let me check the research tab. When I checked Saturdays, it actually has way higher peaks for things like Chaos Zero Nightmare than it has anything else. So whenever I check, and now Devil May Cry 4 is a little bit of an exception, since when you check those, they don't have nearly as many active viewers as Chaos Zero Nightmare does, but whenever I check the research analytics on Chaos Zero Nightmare, the times that I stream at have an approximate 150 viewers online, as opposed to actually the rest of the week. Friday as well. Actually, no, Friday has fewer viewers. It has 120, not 150 or 160 like Saturdays do. Actually, I didn't even realize that. I knew that it was less, but I didn't know by how much. But yeah, it's way more popular on Saturdays to do that. So that's kind of why I chose to go ahead with that. That's at least my motivation for it. So, surprisingly, no. Yeah, wasn't the case. But I do otherwise understand. I think streaming earlier, perhaps, maybe, potentially. Could have been pretty good, but yeah, doesn't seem like it's actually the case. The question is if that is just due to one particular streamer being online and falsifying the stats. Also very true. It doesn't tell me if it's like some really popular streamer at the time. I feel like that's one of the things that the research tab and recommendations for, oh, you should be streaming at this hour, doesn't tell me anything of. Like, yeah, sure, I should be streaming at this hour, but yeah, as you said, how am I meant to know? I don't think it reveals that to me. It came to me in a dream. It doesn't tell me anything about that whatsoever, so I really just have to make up my my knowledge and see where it goes from there in order to come to some kind of decision. So that's more or less why I stream when I do. Again, like, if I were to push up my hours, maybe I could. I'm now trying to think. I would have to see about pushing up my hours and what that would look like, because I think, honestly, I just worry that it would not work out, and... Oh gosh, do I try using Devil Dice to go into Homing Laser, or do I just go Homing Laser immediately? I think I go Homing Laser immediately, so I have 2 so I can go Pale Shooting Star. But yeah, I agree otherwise. It's also a question of, like, I don't know, YouTube's viewership is also really weird, because attempting to figure out when or even why someone would join my stream around those hours is also really difficult. It doesn't tell me the active hours of people for my YouTube live streams either, because I guess my YouTube live streams are just so unpopular. I've got C3C who sometimes joins them, and then Kaya, but that's difficult. Like, 3 hours is a lot. You'd be online by 6 p.m. and done by 8 p.m. my time. I'm, like, in the gym or studying at that time. So do you feel like maybe I should stream earlier or later than on Saturday? Or, well, I wouldn't be able to do later. I would be able to do earlier on Saturdays then. Does that sound like a more fitting time? Because, okay, checking research, right? It says if I were doing... let's convert this to CET. Time zone converter. I can't do this off the top of my head, so you're gonna have to give me a second. If I do CET, I could instead go from my current time. If I bumped it up by, let's say, 2 hours or something like that, then CET would be around 8... No, it would be ending around 6 p.m., starting at around 4 p.m. Does that make more sense then? I feel like the statistics as well on the Twitch viewers tab or whatever, it just doesn't make sense for that, but yeah. It doesn't, as you said, describe whether or what time. Also, I think that was like a complete misstep on my part to do that. From a more general point of view, I'd say ideally you stream at the same time every day you stream, because switching up times on just one day will likely lead to people missing your stream on the next day. I think that's a fair point. As said, it's just because I have a tabletop session, and that's my main reason why. Also, this is horrid. I have drawn all contaminations. That sucks so badly. Like, actually. My gosh. Can I please? Okay, we're gonna have to charge this, then go into Plasma Missile, and hopefully draw something more. I need more draws. Okay. No, unfortunate. This run isn't going so well. But yeah, I do get what you mean. I think... I don't know. I've already committed, so to speak, with this schedule that I have currently, but I do agree with you. I'll have to think about this. I will have to deliberate. I've got so much stuff that I have, like, genuinely planned for everything besides this. Like, when it comes to a model and whatnot as well, because yes, I am contemplating having or getting a model, or even just making something, because I was thinking, like, possibly, like, a 3D one would work as well, because then I can do little gags and so on. I love doing dumb bits. Yeah, so my suggestion would likely be move the Saturday stream to Sunday, and maybe do the video stuff on Saturday before after your D&D session. That's true. Actually, yeah. I can skip Saturdays, start Sundays. I won't adjust it for this one, because I've already... I don't know, would it be lying to my audience to do that? I don't even think I've got any followers on X. I've got mostly these art bots that follow me, and then some people who like some of the stupid posts I make. But yeah, I think I can probably move things around, and then that would make more sense to do this. I don't know, but I don't know enough about the stats to speak on what would be better from a viewer count perspective. Honestly, I'm still fairly new. This is like a month and a half of streaming, and I'm very new, admittedly, to the social media stuff. And by that, I'm trying to say it's like a combination of things. Like, at the same time, although I'm new to it, I do still have access to a lot of stats. Like, a humongous amount of stats that I can use to see exactly what it is, or what times to be streaming at. And that obviously helps. It's way different not having that kind of information or accessibility. You know, funny thing, speaking about that, I was looking at some of the audience viewer statistics that I have. Apparently, some people watch me on their smart TVs. I don't even know how to react to this fully, because I didn't know that people were watching me on smart TVs. I was looking at some of my shorts and YouTube statistics, and there I am, apparently. Apparently, was it 2% or 3% are watching me on smart TVs? Let's see. 3.1% of my audience watches me on a smart TV. Very strange. Just based on my logic, I'd assume keeping the same time every day makes it easier for repeat viewers to be here, but maybe you want to move it to another time slot in general to increase the average viewer count. That's... Actually, that was generally the gist, yeah. Exactly that. That's kind of why I chose this time slot, because it kind of made sense, and by kind of, I meant like, well, it's the one time slot that seems to be very popular on weekends, but as you mentioned, it could be entirely as a result of just like one popular streamer, and not much else. So I watch on my Nokia 1995. You've gotta teach me how to do that, man. I really want to know how to stream on my Nokia. Wouldn't it be... No. Now I'm getting ahead of myself. I was gonna say, what if I did camera tracking on, like, I don't know, a future model on a Nokia 1995? That would be awesome. Wow, I can't believe it. I've got a Nokia for face cam tracking. Though, I noticed, and now this is, like, entirely my fault, or mostly my fault. Let's be real, it's not fully my fault. I did get a camera or whatever for eventually whenever I incorporate some kind of model into whatever it is I'm doing, and I realized it only takes USB-C, which doesn't connect to my computer. So I need to work on that one. That's very cool. Oh yes. Here we go. We're gonna try... I want to try pull into one of my other +1 AP homing lasers. Oh, you are joking. He clogged up my deck just as I got that. I wanted to draw into one of my other AP lasers. Instead, I got both tactical maneuvers. We can do this then, I think, and still gain the benefits of it. Yeah, I think so. But I was going to talk as well about the new... Oh gosh, is this going to be enough? I think this is going to be enough, hopefully. I was going to talk about the new character PV. I know this is a completely separate topic from what I was talking about, but I do think that I need to give it a little bit of thought. But I absolutely 100% agree that what I should probably do is shift over my time slot from the Saturday to the Sunday. And that might work. Model will be very expensive, though. A much cheaper and cool thing to do would be your current PNG and changing into different cosplays, Kirby style, when you do voice/voice acting. I think the main issue for me, right, is that due to kind of... Oh gosh, this is going to trigger both of them. I don't want to do that. Due to kind of the gags that I want to be able to do, it requires a 3D one. Plus, I just like the customization of it. Now, I had my friend draw this current model, or at least they were very. How am I forgetting the word? They were very kind. That's the word. They were very kind about saying, "Oh, do you want me to draw it for you?" And I was like, "Yes, please. That would be awesome. I would love that." So that's how it started off as, and now I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe I should like put in some of the money towards having a model, but I don't know. It is like one of those deliberation aspects that is so difficult to figure out. I think I'm also just dead here. I think he just wipes me. Oh my gosh. This boss is like actually crazy. I mean, look at that. Just instantly wiped? Man. And this is on what, hard mode? It's not even on hell mode? Jeez Louise. I'm gonna have to see how it goes with this one. But I did want to at least try. I'm looking into it. So, obviously, there's some issues, so to speak, when it comes to having or buying a model, that sometimes free alternatives are difficult to come by, but the issue is as well is that I don't want to like overburden my friend with saying, "Oh, can you draw me this cosplay or this thing as well for this model?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I could. I mean, I could ask and commission, but I don't know. I also want to try and finalize what a character design I have in mind. So that's another aspect of it, or to it, I suppose. Okay. I think... Wait, why did... Oh, one of them cost, but the other didn't. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna beat my high score of like 600k or whatever I got. This is gonna go way worse, and I didn't even get one of the softy cards. Yeah, Growing Creature. I think I need to start off with Growing Creature in hand, and that's the only way that I can really do this. Because otherwise, Hugh just builds up cost every single turn. Yeah, so I've been looking a little bit into models and everything like that, even if it is just a cheaper alternative, mainly because I know that there are a lot of those, like, oh, design or create a custom model type things that you just pay once, and that's it? That could work, and I think that would be nice as well. It's just... a lot of them are made for girls and not for guys, or a lot of them are for women and not for men. I noticed. There was like 7 different ones to pick for women, and I was looking through, there's like 1 for guys? So, I don't know, I feel like the route I have to go down is paying for one of those, but we'll see. There's always the alternative of me trying out some 3D model or something like that. But customization-wise, I need to learn a little bit of Blender or something to try figure out attaching stuff. I've never worked with stuff like that. I mostly only ever do whatchamacallit. I do a lot of digital arts editing, which is a fancy way of saying graphic design, but not really, because I wouldn't qualify myself as being nearly as talented as actual graphic design artists. I'm talking like, I've used Photoshop more than a couple of times in my life, and by more than a couple, I mean like a lot. So I designed like all the graphics and everything on my channel and so on, but the rest of it, yeah, not not nearly as much. So that's where that one is, at least. I didn't want to be on Hue Extreme here, but hopefully this is gonna be enough. Oh, I should have used Softy, shouldn't I? Ugh. Yeah, I think I should have used Softy there, and then I could have gotten more damage. Oh well, this is just like a practice round anyway. So it's kind of okay. I mean, no, we're not even close. It wouldn't have mattered much anyway. Oh, wow. I'm thinking that, like, this deck is pretty good, but I think it's Sereniel's that's the drawback or the downside here. Trying to break the armor or whatever at the same time as drawing a whole bunch of cards with Cassius is just really difficult. I didn't even remember that. I didn't do the weekly accumulation. But, yeah. I think as well the benefit of picking something like 3D is the fact that I could do, like, walking around gags, so to speak. Just the whole fact of, well, I'm physically here, kind of, is a bit of a selling point to me, I suppose. And that's kind of why I feel that. Draw... I could change the manifestation on these to be the draw 1 for each enemy hit, and that would have been better. It feels like your first team is too much utility and not enough damage from my scrub point of view. Yeah. So the difficulty here is that my Sereniel, as unfortunate as it is, did not get the epiphany for creating 2 homing lasers anytime a part was ravaged, and now I could use my remanifestation on it to get it to work. But I'm thinking maybe it's not worth it, only because I still have time. I still have time to make a new deck. The only thing is that getting Homing Laser to have AP with this exact Epiphany was super lucky. It was really, really lucky, because this is like by far one of the highest damaging Epiphanies, as well as gaining +1 AP to basically play every single other cards that I have in my deck. Yeah, nuts. So really, it's a lack of being able to draw through every card, and then also being able to trigger those contagion stacks. So ideally, what should happen is I should play Ebony Lumen twice, each one once. I gain the bonus morale. I'm able to draw into Dice Trick every single turn. The issue is that it's very difficult. Why not use the remanifestation then, if it makes that deck so much better? Yeah, that's what I've been on the fence about. It's because when they said during the live stream, there's not gonna be any other way to get them this season, I was like, ooh, does that mean I even use them at all? Do I hold on? But like, what better opportunity is there than to finish a really good deck? Because one of the decks that I wanted to use it on was actually this one, where I would swap out one of Magna's Frost Charges, at least like maybe this one, because this is such a difficult deck to have gotten this perfect, okay? Like, yeah, the only thing wrong with this deck is at the start of the battle, 1 evade, and the fact that I didn't get a Frost Charge with draw. I could have maybe removed Glacial Iron Fist and it would be even better, but this is nuts. Getting this exact gear and getting this gear, and then being able to get all of these without having to re-roll, oh my gosh, it was kind of nuts. So yeah, I want to re-roll that one a little bit, or do the Flash of Potential, and then, I mean, you do have 7 remanifestations though, so using 2 seems fine. I'm one of those people that plays a JRPG and never uses the items. I'm so sorry to say this, Helios. I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those RPG players. I think to myself, wow, this is a really rare resource. I'm never gonna use it. I would rather try my luck for the next 20 hours playing in the worst conditions than use something that makes my life slightly easier. So, yes, possibly, maybe. I'm just thinking to myself, if I were to swap this out, what better could I have hoped for? I could have hoped for having 1 more refined gear and swapping this out, and then I would have had a perfect pile, I think. But that's maybe it? I'm not sure, actually. I think this deck... Oh, the question is as well, is this actually better in this current setup, or is it worse? You know... ooh, okay. We're gonna try something. I'm just gonna check. What was mine? I did use Selena, and I somehow got that much. So then I must have been using my other Cassius deck. Now I'm kind of curious. I think I'm gonna try once more with the previous deck that I was using, because I think this one is pretty good. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to try time my my usage of cards better. Like, whenever I have Black Lumen, or Dark Lumen, whatever it was called, and he uses Contagion, that's when I trigger using Dark Lumen, and then hopefully I can draw out of all of those cards. Or Ebony Lumen, that's it. How did I forget? I use Ebony Lumen then. I'm surprised you're using a dude. Okay, well, come on. Cassius is like immortal robots. Is he really? I mean, maybe, but it's kind of close, right? It's kind of close. He's so cool though. I love my little skeleton robot guy. Okay, here we go. Now we can do Ebony Lumen and draw into some of the other cards. And I am hoping that we draw into Homing Laser as well as whatchamacallit. Homing Laser and... no, I didn't. I did draw 2 of the tactical maneuvers though, but let's see. 1 Homing Laser. That's not gonna be enough, is it? We're gonna do this, we're gonna activate Tactical Maneuver, then I'm gonna do... I'm the Joker, baby! Yeah. We'll do this? Well, he's not a girl at least. He's neutral, okay? He's neutral. it works out. I don't know what to call him. He's a robot. So, kind of. A skeleton robot? He's one of these things, man. He's one of them. Yeah, this first turn just sucked. We're gonna retry this. That's another thing. There's so many, like, conditions to making decks work that, it's really tough to decide what actually makes this out to be the best. Okay, we can do... Target... No. Yeah, I think we do target spotted, pale shooting star, hopefully get enough of the, we get 3 AP from this, which means that I can use Ebony Lumen, but unfortunately, I don't think I can draw into anything great. Like, I could do Shining Core, and that would be really nice. Oh wait, no, I can't even use it. Yeah, that was a terrible first turn. So I need to open with my homing laser, with some draws, and maybe the sparkly thing, whatever it was called, this thing, Shining Core. That's it. I don't need to open with Ebony Lumen in my hand. I already have something on Cassius that allows him to fetch the card. So this is actually a really bad opener. I need a... Okay. I'm beginning to understand. I'm beginning to see the through line. Ah, okay. This boss is also so difficult. I was contemplating, because I got a really crazy Reen deck the other day. Actually, I'll show it if this one doesn't go too well. I got a really crazy Reen deck yesterday. Oh, was it yesterday? I'm trying to think now. Wait. When did I get it? I got a really crazy Reen deck that was, whatchamacallit? It was... Draw 2 cards of this combatant plus 1 AP, gain Dark Mist stance, and then I had removed all of her basic cards. And I managed to duplicate it 3 times, but it went over the limit. So that really sucked. Also, I do not want to draw a Wait, no, maybe I can draw a Dice Trick on the first turn. So long as I manage to break this. Yes. Okay, okay. And then we can do a bit of this. Only downside is that I don't really build any Afterglow, which is, the worst part about this deck. So it becomes really hard to break Tenacity. We can do I'm the Joker, baby, into... What do I go for? I think Pop-Eyed Popper. And then we do one... I don't think this was one of the best turn ones, but at least it has me activating more than just, like, 4 cards. Which is certainly better than the last run. But that Reen deck was crazy. It was like genuinely astoundingly good. So I'm kind of upset that I think it went all the way up to 210 Faint Memory, which was a lot to be using for just that. Oh, is he hitting something out of my hand? Oh, okay. Well, that's lame. And then we can do Plasma Missile here. Oh, yes. And then we can use the rest of these here. And now that gets me very close to, Is it better to do... I think it's better to do this one, actually. Yeah. And then, actually, now I can use Contamination to draw into some of the other... Oh, I don't even have any more Contaminations in deck. Yeah, I'll still do this. I'm gonna try... whittle this one down, and then it's quite low. Oh man, I forgot to use drone bombing. Whatever. We're close enough. And this is gonna oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have waited one more. Whoops. And we'll trigger this. Get rid of this one, maybe? Yeah. And then Pale Shooting Star this. And I think that gets rid of the hand. Be gone, hand. Though, unfortunately, I'm not going to deal, like, much damage whatsoever to the head. I feel like one of the main difficulties with this boss is trying to figure out when you're meant to attack the head and when you're not meant to. If I can use his skill here to try and draw into some more cards, that would be very cool. Something here. But also, I was wanting to talk about the character PV that we got. Oh, yes. Ebony Lumen. Thank you. Please. Dice Trick and Joker. Well, this doesn't help me. Not much, anyway. I was wanting to talk about the new character because I hate this boss. Yeah, he's really difficult. He's, like, unfairly difficult compared to some of the other ones that we've seen. Especially from last season, my gosh. The last one was like a punching bag. This one is more of a be punched. The character PV that we got for Rita, her name was, seems interesting. She is still very timey-wimey. She is still very timey-wimey, which makes me think that, hopefully, we get some interesting mechanics with her. Something along the lines of, like, Protoss skills, but for her. Maybe we'll get, what's it called? Maybe we'll get... And this is one of the things I wanted to mention as well. Why do we not have, like, consumables yet during a run? Why do we not have, like, potions like you would have in Slay the Spire? I feel like that could be really good. It's cost me a few, more like a lot of runs. I think I've tried to get his equipment multiple times, but I just keep failing. Either that, or I just get really bad hands on the, challenge the, gatekeeper. I don't like that I have to deal a certain amount of DPS just to get through, because I do a lot of sustain or build, turtle decks. Why do you now have 10 turns instead of 5 like last run? So this first half is 10 turns in total. If you beat it, like as in destroy the head, in less than 10 turns, or rather less than 5, those turns carry over to the part 2, which is your second team. So otherwise, it would be 10 turns on the first team, 5 turns on the second team. If you beat the first team in anything less than 5, then it adds the remaining amount of turns to the second team. So you would be able to do 10 plus 5 or 5 plus 10. And that's basically the gist of it. Okay. If I do... Wait. Have I... No. Okay. This is gonna swap around. Why is the character when choosing a card for the plot? Yeah, of course! It's for the plot. Why else would it be there? Though, I'm excited to see what Rita is like. I really, really am hoping that she's gonna... An insane deck. Also, I'm contemplating... It would be really nice to have, like, a statistics page, so I can see how much damage Selena is contributing, because I'm thinking about it. Tactical Maneuver is doing nothing for my builds here. Like, actually. I can get rid of this hand. You know what? I don't think I'm gonna beat my high score. How is the other character after 9, by the way? Typhira? Yeah, I'm still on the fence about rolling for her. I feel like Typhira is a really good Mika, but at the same time, I don't know if I want to roll for her. Mainly because I don't trust my luck. My luck has been terrible. Did you also not get her? Yeah, I also did not get her. My luck has been terrible. I'm worried about getting pity. Apparently, Season 3 is meant to have seasonal units because it's during summertime. Which means that we'll get another case of Sereniel where you can only get the character during their banner and no other time. Which makes me a little bit worried to do something like that, in all honesty. Oh gosh, Ray isn't really... My Ray really isn't that built for this. I think Selena is still my best choice. You should stream BD2? BD2? Brown... Wait. Brown Dust 2, you mean? Really family-friendly to stream game? Wilson, I don't believe you on that one. The fact that they have to censor their own Twitter posts? I don't know about that one. They censor their own posts on Twitter because that's not good to show around. So, and besides, I have played it. I have played it before. It wasn't my type of game, though. Mainly because of the gameplay loop. I couldn't get into it. You know of it. I see you, a man of culture. Yeah, yeah. I mean, Nikkei streams also exist. Okay, but I don't think you've seen some of the Brown Dust commercials or some of the cutscenes or cut-ins. I think some of them actually require censoring on Twitch. I could be wrong. Wait, I can check. Maybe there's a research category. Brown Dust 2. Let's see. Oh. Well, if anything, the viewer count is a little bit unfortunate. there's only an average of 3 people on this all over the week. I couldn't get the PC client to work for Brown Dust 2, so I gave up on playing on it. Yeah, I just played it on my phone. I couldn't be bothered to set up, like, the PC clients or anything, and I think at the time as well, you had to use an emulator, and that just did not sit right with me. I couldn't get it to run smoothly whatsoever. Bro, Brown Dust is way worse than Nikke, and I play I play for the plot. Yeah, it's, I think, much more risque, and that's all there is to say about it. Oh gosh, I just really need a deck with a lot more devil dice so that I can pull into the other ones. Man, it's just download for the PC client on Discord and install. It's easy. I think this must have been like a while ago because I don't remember there being a PC client for it. Maybe I just never saw it. I remember Nikke's PC client only released like a couple of weeks after the official release, and that made it really difficult. Plus, the PC client was just super unstable. So I have not had, or I didn't at the time, because now the PC client is way better. I did not have the best of experiences whenever it came to the Nikke PC client. That was difficult to navigate around. Plus, the loading times were crazy long on the PC client. The only ones that get good viewer counts are Hoyo Games, Wuwa, and Enfield. Basically open world. Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to think as well, but wait, let me do some quick searching. Do you consider Shadowverse and Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, because they're technically TCGs, and I've made an argument once before, but TCGs are the original gacha game. Do you consider those gacha games at all? Let's see. I'm really tired of them. I used to play Genshin an excessive amount, but then they never really added any of the updates that I wanted, because I really wanted them to add a buff bar, a separate health bar for the shield. I wanted them to improve, like, marginally on some of the combat and, like, movement or traversal mechanics, and they never did. So, unfortunately, it was my game at first, but then not so much. So I eventually stopped playing. I don't consider TCG gacha games in the sense that they have vastly different gameplay. I think my main motivation, and IRL versions that are made much easier to watch by the digital version, I think my main motivation as to why I believe that TCGs are a form of gacha game is because you have packs. They nearly always open like to 10 cards, and then you have various rarities and so on. You do also, for some TCGs, have just like poster child characters that will show up with alts and everything, or different seasonal outfits. Like, maybe you can make the argument, right, that because Nikke got a TCG via Weiss Schwarz, that technically counts as a gacha as well, not only because it's based off of a gacha game, but like because of the TCG itself. Like, if you took all of the characters from an existing gacha game and you placed it in card form, I still think that's gacha. Like, I don't think it's removed the elements of it. You are still, like, rolling for random cards, you're still opening packs, there are different rarities, there are different poster child characters that show up with different alts and different arts. The main difference is that your character's skills, instead of being in like one of 5 menus, is that they're all printed out on card text and then have a special assigned stat or so. Wilson Wizard is a gacha. Yeah, I think so. At least I feel like it would be very difficult to separate the two. Yeah, I do understand, but watching a card game you play is very different from watching chibi versions of characters auto fights. Yeah, but it's like, to me, the definition of gacha is more so placed on the rolling system than it is the gameplay mechanics, because Enfield has the entire factory thing. Like, let's say, right, that you only had the factory thing to Enfield, but you still rolled for characters and whatnots. So, in that sense, you're still playing a gacha, but it's all the factory, but you also have, like, the middling parts of kind of playing some of the combat and whatnot. Like, maybe it doesn't have the depth of Wuwa or whatever, but they've all got different attributes that still make them gacha nonetheless, because of the whole system around rolling for or collecting characters. And I think that's kind of what defines it to me. Though, then again, maybe my definition is only based off of that, because that's like the one unifying traits I believe to be between them. Okay, drew both of my tactical maneuvers in the first hand. I don't really want that. I'm trying to think what an ideal start is. If I drew Ebony Lumen, 2 homing... Okay, 2 Devil Dice is actually a really good opener. Really not bad whatsoever. That might be an ideal opening, actually. Then we can do Plasma Missile into Dice Trick into Homing Laser twice into Pale Shooting Star? Yeah, and then we can do Joker into Pop-Eyed Popper into oh, I'm not sure what comes after that one. Okay, so either we do another draw 1 card. Wait. I've got Ebony Lumen now. If I can draw this, do Tactical Maneuver, gain 1, but then I might not end... okay. Pop-Eyed Popper, I think, is probably the better one here. And then I can do this. And then now I can select 111, and now I can draw at least on Contagion cards if I use them enough times. I think that's the right play. I could be wrong. Oh gosh, I opened with nothing in hand. I think that's why I shouldn't have done it. And then we can do Shining Core here. High Power Scope. Your hand is full. Okay. Drone Bombing. 1 Contamination so I can hopefully draw into 1 more card. Okay, 111. Oh gosh. This is so very difficult. I had to draw both of my... That start was nuts, though. I think that is the play. It is to 100% go into that, and then I'm going to use Target Spotted so that I can get rid of it. I think this is ephemeral, at least, so at least the status card doesn't persist in my hand. Yeah, okay. So now we do High Power Scope. Now we do Devil Dice. Do I have anything in here? But yeah, I think I get where you're coming from, Helios, with what defines a gacha game. I think to me it's instead just like the actual rolling for or of characters that really makes it what it is. And that's how I see it, at least. But I don't know. There's always a difference to these kinds of things, you know? So if I do... No... I could do Pale Shooting Star, draw into 2, then see how that goes. Oh, man. Shining Core, draw 1, hopefully get a Homing Laser? Yeah, I think so. Or Devil Dice. Okay, I drew into Homing Laser. That's not half bad, Then we can do 111 here, and then I can also trigger the, Yeah, no, that's really good, actually. And now, no matter what I do, then I get... Yes. Oh, wait, I didn't want to do that. I wanted to use my Plasma Missile first, I think it was. And that will do it. Okay, can I draw into another thing? Yes. Wait, I could draw into one of my dice tricks. And then I can do... Draw into Dice Trick, gain 2 morale. Hopefully that doesn't put me over the edge. Either that or I could do Devil Dice and draw 2 extra cards. Oh gosh. Man, what a conundrum. I think we do Dice Trick so that I can gain the morale now. Okay. And then if I do 1 here... And 1 here. Yeah, okay, that one doesn't. So then we activate this, then Homing Laser here. Very nice, very nice. And then that should draw all of them to hand. Oh, okay. Oh my gosh, I thought it wasn't drawing them to hand. I was so concerned for a second there. Okay, and then now we can do this. Yes. And then we do Homing Laser here. Thank you very much. And now we do homing laser on this one. Whew. Okay, it's... Oh gosh, it is turn 3 though, so it's not like the best set of outcomes, but it's still pretty good, still pretty good. Oh, and then I can quite literally just destroy that, and that should be good. Maybe. Let's do Ebony Lumen. Do I have... Okay, I've got the third one here. So now we can draw 3 more. Then I could... Oh, I could do Devil Dice here. Yeah, why not? It is the last turn. My deck is empty. Okay, so this is all I have in hand. We can do... No! I need one more. Or I could use both tactical maneuvers here. I think I'll do this. Use one of my tactical maneuvers. Use Pale Shooting Star. And now I am just hoping that I can draw into... Okay, I've actually got Serenial's Thingamabob here, where I can unexhaust all of her cards, which would be nice. Okay. Here we go. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Here we go. And this, yep, that gets rid of it. That was kind of perfect timing, actually, though now I'm a little bit worried it's not going to draw into any of my Ravage cards. Never mind, I didn't have to be worried. And there they are. Here we go. We'll do that. I think I have to do it one in between because it increases all of the damage of it due to the afterglow effects. Oh my gosh. This is going way better than it was last time, I think, though. The acquired score hasn't increased so far yet because I've just dragged all of my cards onto screen. There we go. Very nice. And then we'll keep the 2 broken ebony lumens to try and keep drawing some cards. Let's see. Hopefully we don't have an exuberant amount of these exhaust contagion cards, though. We do have Dice Trick, so that's one thing. I do want to get... Yeah, let's immediately pull into Devil Dice before Contagion begins to hit me. Want Devil Dice. Please draw. No, okay. I want to do... Okay, because none of my homing lasers are in my discard pile. So then I think I'll do Broken Ebony Lumen here, and then hopefully I draw one of... Okay, I drew one of them. Then, yeah, then here we go. Just draw as much of my deck as possible before they hit me with it. Hit me with your best shot, you know? And then we'll get rid of some of these. Actually, I think drone bombing might be best here. And then we can do another homing laser. Does this get me enough? Hello, Sister Brown. Hello, hi. Welcome. How are you doing? How are you? I'm so late. I was dealing with stuff and showering. Worry not. Virgil isn't here to judge you for your non-showering tendencies. Okay. Can I please? No. Oh man, I'm gonna have to use both of these. I could try draw once, but that's gonna immediately end my turn, especially if I get another one of these contamination cards. So I'm just gonna not do that. And then we'll use Pale Shooting Star on this one. Wow. I know, right? It is very much a wow moment. I can't believe it. Virgil isn't here to judge you, so you're in a judgment-free zone, Sister Brown. Well, we got rid of the right hand. Now, I think we draw via Ebony Lumen? Yeah, Plasma Missile, okay, not half bad. It was a little bit lame that it only happened now, though. Man. And then we do one Contagion. Hopefully we draw something else that I can play. Please? Please? 111. What do I draw? Another Contagion. Or Contamination. I keep calling it Contagion for no reason. That sucks. We can do Fragment. And got it up, judge me. Other than that, I'm doing Nikkei dailies. Very true. Nikkei dailies are a fundamental part of one's routine. Okay. This is not far off of... I think this is going to do it, actually. Here we go. Wait, I want to do... No. Oh gosh, but then I won't gain the AP. I will still do the Okay, I think it's better to do the Ravage damage here. And then it's going to draw 2, right? Yeah, it's going to draw 2 of those. And... We'll use both of these contaminations here. Real, I have nothing to do since I caught up to the story other than doing hard mode and normal mode. At this point, it's just boring now. I still feel like there's so much to do that I never have time for it. Don't forget, we're eventually going to get the surface mode as well. I feel like that's going to be a whole bunch of new stuff to do. And I don't know if I'm looking forward to it because of how much stuff there is. Because I think I'm going to be immensely busy as soon as that shows up. Also, how many contagion cards do I have? Oh, actually, if I end my turn here, I might be in a... Oh, that might... Yes. We use one of the contagion cards here. And then... That's it. That's it. I'll end my turn. What is that going to be about? Were you... Are we serious, Selena? Did you have to destroy it? You're joking. Why did you do that? There was no point. Oh my gosh. Why, Selena? Why? You ruined it. Oh man. The surface content is whenever we were doing the whole thing with, whatchamacallit. You had the little different squads that you were clicking through. Each different part of the world map, and then you had to worry about, like, base management and so on. And that took, like, so much time. Don't you remember? Were you... Wait, did you play during that time? Oh, that? Yeah, that. Okay, maybe I do Shining Core here and draw into 1. What... Wait... What? Oh, okay, there's the big button. Oh, there it is. There's the big button. We'll do Shining Core, and then I can draw 1. Oh, actually, maybe I'll be able to draw another. Maybe I'll actually try doing that this time, lol. I mean, yeah, it does give you, it did give you custom cores if you played on that. Hello, Mr. Blow, how's it going? Welcome, welcome. I'm doing, more of an attempted hit this time around, seeing how it goes with my runs. It's still not amazing, but it is at least a decent bit better. I know that if I use this, it's gonna trigger my afterlife. Wait, I need to keep at least 2, so then I'll do this, and then I have to do this. Yeah, okay, that was the answer. See, I'm not half bad at this game. I'm only just, like, majority bad at this game. Though my entire deck is front-loaded with all of those contagion cards, which really sucks. We're gonna try reduce this as much as possible. I finally gave up with the decks. What I have. Tomorrow I'm starting the run. I'm excited to see how it goes for you because, oh my gosh, competing for the top 1 spot? Good luck, man. That sounds seriously difficult. I was contemplating making this deck better by using my flashes of potential, but I don't know. I'm very JRPG brained whenever it comes to it. It just makes me not want to spend any of my hard-earned flashes of potential that I worked so hard for by opening my mailbox and clicking claim. I don't really want to do that. Okay, at least we've got a little bit of draw. I've just noticed with all of this, whatchamacallit, the draw power of my deck is major bad. I think I need to use Pale Shooting Star here and just hopefully trigger all of my 1 AP stuff. Yeah, there we go. And then I can activate both of these. He is gonna thwack me though, which isn't fun. Then I can do this and heal a little. Okay, and then he does it again. Oh my goodness. Please? Wait. No. Surely. No, I think I'm, like, just barely off. Even if I use Selena's and then try to do that, it's not going to be enough. I've got 4 cards, and then it shuffles my deck. I think I just end my turn here, honestly. Because I think the rocket punch might have triggered it like it did last time. I missed dealing damage to the head because of the rocket punch. Oh, what a terrible day. Then we'll do this, and then we'll do homing laser. Yes. And then now the head will open? No, soon. In a moment, I suppose. We're gonna do this. Hopefully we can get one of the draw cards to, yeah, deal the finishing blow. Thank you. And then devil dice. Very nice, very nice, very nice devil dice. Into another devil dice. I guess it's nice for thinning out my deck. And then we can use the Joker, baby. I'm hoping that if I did Shining Core, or do I do Plasma Missile? I was hoping that if I did Shining Core, my draw 1 would pull into Pale Shooting Star, but that's a hopeful fantasy that's bound to never come true. I was talking today with my teammate Flafferson on how should the game be improved because it's really going downhill. I will try to hit top 1 to have a chance of suggesting some changes in the next interview. What, in your opinion, what do you think is the biggest pain point so far? I was just talking a little bit earlier that I was hoping that they would add more, like, consumable items and whatnot, because I feel like some of the artifact slots are just wasteful. Like, there's no reason to have some of the artifacts on, like, a majority of characters. You roll and you get an artifact that doesn't help your character in any way and can only be refined, but then you end up with like a bunch of dead gear in inventory. Like, oh yeah, do you want plus 10% HP or max HP on an attacker character? Like, that doesn't really help me. I'd rather just go for the plus 25% damage amount. That seems way better. We'll do Joker either way here. And then I draw into another card. Wait, how many? 1. So even if I draw... Okay, I can draw 1 of 3, and then I can do this. Hopefully this works. I need to draw... I drew the wrong one, really? I needed anything that cost 1. Wait, can I draw 1 card? Yes! Draw 1 card. Okay, here we go. Plasma Missile. Perfect! Oh my goodness. Is it going to EOS? No! CZN isn't going to EOS. It would take ages to get to that point. I think it has like a whole bunch of potential. Besides, it's like only the first or so update for it. Roguelike aspect of the game becomes monotone at some point. It's not an enjoyable experience. That should not happen with a roguelike. The journey needs to be enjoyable. Yeah, I did like more of the roguelike divine interventions. I thought those were pretty fun. I think there needs to be more variety. Like, again, from the perspective of having played this game, like, basically an hour every single day, I still really enjoy some of my runs, but it is a little bit monotonous in the sense that I need more variation in, like, things to do or ways to build my characters, because I feel like sometimes some of the characters boil down to doing generally the same thing. Like, when you look at some of the newly introduced things like the spores aren't worth it. Like, trying to make an entire build around spores isn't worth it. Trying to make an arena deck where you have a whole bunch of the arena cards and the mythic gear isn't really worth it. And you end up just playing with a deck that is nearly always the character's base cards and none of the actual cards. So I feel like they would need to make it not only more difficult for some of this, or like reward you for building outside of character decks a little bit more. At least like make it possible to play with a couple more cards than some of the designated ones. Unless they collab with Persona 5. True, then it would then it would die in 1 year. Never collab with Persona 5. Even though I like the game, you cannot. Everything that's collab with it has EOS'd within a year. I just started playing and what I think it's stale. I don't know, maybe my love for games like Warframe is blocking out my thoughts, but I actually still enjoy a lot of it. It gets worse if you play at a higher level. For Great Rift, your only purpose is to get perfect decks, which take a lot of hours to get each, and each run you don't get it feels wasted. Yeah, I for sure think that there could be a lot more consistency tools. And that would help a lot in lieu of, oh gosh, I'm like 1 away, please. This would have been so good. It would have been so much better if there was a lot more variation to what you wanted your end decks to look like. And I don't know if this needs to be done via means of having, let's say, like, better end game content to use some of this for, but I feel like it could be better if you had different decks that you had to build which didn't solely rely on you aiming for one particular deck by the end of things, you know? Okay. I'm gonna draw one more card and hopefully it's gonna be the exact one I need. It was not the exact one I needed. Yeah. We'll whittle this down a little bit. And then we'll do Plasma Missile on this, I think. Oh my goodness! I'm just about to die. Not bad, though. I'm, like, just on the cusp of it. And not even for Great Rift, there are hundreds of good combos we can play in the game that require perfect decks, but nobody does them because it's not rewarded. Yeah, that's what I mean with there not being, like, enough endgame content that really satisfies that craving of, like, okay, what is the purpose to playing a full arena deck? I know I made a video, not even a video, I attempted at one point to get some of the cards and whatnot, but there is no real reason to aim for that kind of deck. So why should I do it, as you say? Like, you've got this massive, massive setup for a lot of really cool or interesting decks that allow you to do things like, again, with the arena deck, summon or use this really badass cards that can deal a lot of damage, but you only get to use it once and then it exhausts, and by the end of it, what else are you going to use it for? So, I'm not 100% certain. And nor do I know why I would go through with doing that. Oh my gosh, a full hand of Contagion? Wow. You spoil me. Let's try draw into something actually useful. That's gonna kill me. Maybe? Something? Anything, please? Nope. Okay. I think this is pretty much dead in the water. We can do this, and then we can do another contamination, and then I can draw at least one more. And what do I get? Another contamination. My favorite! Wow. I'm spoiled. I think that's one of the reasons why I really liked, whatchamacallit, why I thought the Spiral Tower of Screams has a lot of potential, because it opens up the door to being able to try a lot more new decks and see how those go. But unfortunately, like, the build-up to that point is really difficult to justify. Like, if you were to build up, let's say, all of these hypothetical or perfect decks, as you say, there's no real reason to continue beyond the Spiral Tower of Screams once you've gotten it, you know? And I think that's a bit of a pain point. I should have made Magna's, not cost reduction, but... oh gosh. Not cost reduction, but draws. I think Magna should have been a draw character. Though, unfortunate. I'm not even going to have enough turns to get through a majority of this. I should have used Ice Fragment. I don't know why I didn't. But I don't think I'm gonna... I don't think I'm gonna win! Not that you really can win. But, oh well. Growth acceleration, please. Please do. Here we go. I just need more draw cards, really. And then I'll kind of be okay. I mean, they've got 9 vulnerability on them. Not bad. At the end of our conversation, we concluded that roguelike plus gacha isn't a good combo. I'm a little bit conflicted on that, because I think it could work. I'm trying to now think of if it's ever worked before, and I think it kind of did with Dragalia Lost, but Dragalia Lost unfortunately didn't live to see the end of its, or it didn't live long enough to even see its roguelites or roguelike features get featured much at all. I think it basically died at that. Isn't Stella Sora also very much a roguelike game? Or at least similar in vein of, oh, you've got these builds that you can make, you go into a dungeon, and it sort of works out by the end of it. You get this kit that you then use to grind stuff for. I think Stella Sora is doing pretty okay still. I mean, it's probably not one of the most popular things out there, or popular games out there, but it is still doing its thing, and I didn't hear much about that. Plus, I think Uma Musume technically counts as a partial roguelike when you count for the fact that you build... Okay, a deck is a little bit different in that, but you build a deck for random encounters and events, then you gain a certain amount of random stats. If you fail, your entire run is gone. The only thing that persists is whatever deck you bring into it. So in a sense, Uma Musume has some roguelike mechanics, which I think is pretty good. And people love or adore Uma Musume, so I don't see why roguelike wouldn't work out. I think it's more feasible, actually, that roguelike would work out than some of the other games out there. But maybe that's just me. After all, I'm very, very biased towards roguelike games. They're by far one of my favorite genres. So I really can't get enough of them. Like, as said, I play this game on the daily just because I thoroughly enjoy it. Wait, that was it? What? Okay. That was a really bad run. Yeah. I don't think these combined decks are doing me much good. I think if I could... Okay, here's a little bit of an off-topic question, but also in relation to Chaos Era Nightmare. Lo, do you think this deck is worth Re-Epiphany? Do you think I should just swap Shining Core to its upgrade form instead? Because I think this deck is pretty great with the +1 AP and everything, but I don't know if it's severely hampered as it is right now. I'm wondering if it would be even better if I had the upgrade form. I could try. I still don't know how I managed to get my, like, insanely good combo going off. Like, when I try to check my team record reward, I don't know, I can't find what cards, what deck I was using for mine. Oh no. I got 631k, but I can't even find myself on any of the pages, so I don't know where I'm meant to end up at. Maybe that's just it. I also... Oh yeah, I was gonna show Helios, one of the builds that I got for Reen. It did go like to 210 faint memory, but I was just having fun building it. It was very similar to this one, actually. It was... yeah, this one. I had 4 copies of Dark Mist Secret Art Destruction that I was just drawing into every single one of her cards. And so I was doing pretty well. I think it was doing pretty well, but then again, if I had 4, I could draw into every single card every single turn, which is nice. So long as I don't hit like 2 of them. But yeah, it would be an upgrade, but we probably have different opinions on what on when we would use flashes. Yeah, I'm just trying to think of like my JRPG brain getting in the way of when I should use a flash or not. So whenever I look at this deck, for instance, I'm like, oh wow, it's so close to being really good, and it would probably deal more damage, but is it worth it? I don't know. People seem to use this like nearly the exact same deck with Selena, so maybe it is worth it. The only downside is that I don't really get to drawing cards that often, which is really bad whenever I get Contamination. For example, my deck without AP gets the job done. What kind of deck do you use? Do you use Cassius or who do you use? Because I'm trying to figure out now how I can get even more card draw. Because my main issue here is that I will just eventually pull into a whole bunch of contamination and then I can never get past it. But at the same time, like, I've got 2 devil dice here and I'm just not gaining more morale. I gain at most 7. Veronica? Oh yes, because draw 2 other draw 2 cards of other combatants. Yeah, she's got that one. Okay. Wait, now I need to check rankings and whatnot. I know I'm gonna check Master. What are these guys in Master doing right now? Let's see. What are you doing? Activate 5 homing laser. I'm sorry. What? Okay. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? And they've got Hugo. Okay. That's not helpful to me. I don't have Narya. We've got Veronica here. Oh gosh, a lot of them are using Narya. Okay, here's one that's using Cassius. I wonder what this looks like. Oh, okay. Just draw 1, then draw 3, then draw more. Yeah, they do basically the same thing. They just want to draw a whole bunch of cards. Some use Serenial, Selena, and Ray. My gosh. These kinds of decks are crazy, dude. I'm now contemplating as well. Should I... Maybe I don't use a flash of potential and I just keep trying with keep trying for an even better deck. But getting this exact Divine Epiphany and the exact Epiphany for this to deal that amount of damage is crazy. It's crazy. I'm just thinking I could have done the plus 40% damage artifact instead by picking a different Chaos Manifestation to go for. Because this armor piece does genuinely nothing. The damage amount here is fine. Or maybe you need better stats on Serenial. No, don't tell me. My Serenial is awesome. I obviously haven't done the Manifest Ego whatsoever, but, you know. Alright, let's see. At the start of the battle, create. If homing laser is one of the cards drawn. Oh, that also might be why, because she's drawing anytime she starts with it. Okay. Each homing laser is moved on Ravage. When an ally inflicts Ravage. Yeah, you only need her really at 4 or 5, but let's check. Memory fragments. I thought this was pretty okay. We've got critical damage, which isn't the best. This one could have been better. This one was really good, except the game hates me, okay? What is this? Both of my upgrades on everything but my maxed out critical damage and chance? Really? Then I got pretty good with this one, though it doesn't have any critical damage. This one was, This one was, yeah, pretty good. Same thing here, 2 of the upgrades went to the wrong one. This one I could absolutely swap out. 960-20, or 900-600-200. I can't read. I'm adding a 0 or removing a 0. Let me try this for the 3rd time. 960-200. There we go. Oh my gosh. So you're meaning 900 attack, 60 defense, 200 health? Or do you mean 60 critical chance, 200 critical damage? I don't even know how you're meant to get to that point. My Reen is the closest one to that, but she only has 180. The second one, how are you meant to get to that point? That seems kind of crazy, doesn't it? Let's see. So even if I check this, I've got critical chance on basically everything. Okay, no, this one has critical damage. No, because it has critical chance there. This, no. This one is lacking critical chance. And this one is lacking critical damage. Better substats. You're so evil to me, Mr. They need to introduce something that allows me to guarantee, because it makes me so mad. Wait, where is it? What is this? What is this? This is mean. This is just evil. Oh yeah, we maxed out your critical damage and critical chance, but we didn't give you a single upgrade on them. Are you joking? Are you joking with me? Ah, I need an item that maxes this out for me. That just like moves all of my upgrades. I don't care if I'm only gonna get like one of them a month. Please, something so that I don't have to do this. I don't want to grind the infinite memory fragment game. Oh, it's so sucky. I also wanted to make a good Calipe build, but Calipe isn't the best, it seems. I used her. She's not as bad as some of the other characters. It's just like, I don't know, maybe my Reen is massively overtuned, but she's not... Calipe has not been very conducive to most of my Chaos runs. But if I swap her out for Reen, Reen has been way more conducive. She's been so much better, because I guess she can just draw all of her own cards, which makes her pretty self-sufficient in that sense. So I've not had an issue doing runs with Reen, but Calipe? I don't know. It feels like there's so much... You have to build to get Calipe to do well. But I'm contemplating as well that what more could I possibly do? I feel like Selena is in a good spot. She has got... I know her artifact. This is what I'm talking about. Her artifact stinks, but I did not get a single better one. I didn't get anything. I got like bonus healing, and I was like, okay, sure. I guess. I got, like, nothing else on that run. I think that was the most impoverished I've ever been doing a run, but it was also the only run where I managed to get all of these, which is unfortunate. With Cassius, I guess I would want to draw 1 Morale 2 for 1 turn cards. And then Dice Trick, obviously. Lumen was really good. I don't know. I don't know. There's so many questions of, like, what could possibly be better. I haven't done nearly all of the theory crafting that I have to figure out what the best deck could possibly be for all of this. I could... Wait. Actually, speaking of upgrading Serenial, the only things I have left are these 2 potentials, but I don't ever use any other cards besides her unique ones. Wait, no, homing laser doesn't count as default, does it? Wait, 1, 3, 2, and then basic? No, damage, shield gain, and healed? No. It's unique. It's unique. So yeah, it's I don't know what you could do, or what I could do to make her better besides just like rolling infinitely better substats. But you know, I guess woe is me. I'll just have to stick through with it. I suppose Cassius can always be better, always have more draw cards, and so on. What is this? 5 damage to Cassius' card and wild card? Yeah, it doesn't matter. I don't use that. Yeah, when I check my save data here, there's not really much left. Oh yeah, but actually... Besides just, like, the Great Rift and everything, did you see the new character PV of Rita? It didn't really reveal anything, but, boy oh boy, I can't wait to see what her kid is like. And that will determine whether or not I roll for Typhira. Who knows? Maybe I will end up rolling for Typhira in the end. Speaking of, when do I get my rolls? Okay, in 6 days. So I do get, like, 5 more rolls, or 3 more rolls, or whatever. Time Manipulator? Yeah! Timey-wimey. I can't wait, mainly because I'm curious to see what they do for that kind of deck. Like, anytime I think of a time manipulation character, I always think, oh, well, maybe they'll allow me to reverse turns, but I think what it's actually going to end up being is a whole bunch of, like, what was it? Act points? What is it? Action counts? Action timer? You know when an enemy has the big number where it says, like, attacking in 4 turns? I think she's going to manipulate that. I think that's what her whole time manipulation thing is going to be. And I feel like that's going to be major underwhelming. I want something cooler. I hope it's not that. That's my worst case scenario. I hope it's that she, like, I don't know, moves cards from the used pile back into the draw pile. Please. Something crazy. I want Rita to be good. I also saw some of the, whatchamacallit, like, not leaked designs, but, like, concept designs of Rita. I think she was meant to originally be one of those, like, fox girls, or whatever Magna is. What, is Magna a wolf or a fox? I think she's a wolf. I think she was meant to be a wolf girl, originally. But, her animation looked pretty cool. That was fun. Yeah. My Yuki still is just being a bench warmer right now. She's not really doing much. I didn't fully upgrade her because it was Season 1. And then that was kind of it. Maybe she is way better now after the patch, but I haven't played her a single time since. I've only used my original deck. Me and my 5k crystals will try to get her. You're on 5k? Wait. I think I'm on 50k. 60k, actually. Are you concerned with what her kit will look like whatsoever? I'm, again, I want to know what her kit is like. Will I like her character? Ooh, who knows? I'll probably... No. They said during the last live stream that Season 3 is very likely to have one of the next seasonal characters because, that's around the time when summer happens, maybe? Wait. So we've got this going on for, like, how many more days? Yeah, we've got this going on for another month. Which, yeah. Now, and that would mean we would hit around summertime. For the next season. So Season 3 is going to have a summer character. But maybe she'll be in the middle of it. So it would probably be okay to roll. But I want to know who's coming next. I don't know. Since I most likely won't compete in the next Great Rift, I might skip her. You might skip Rita, or you might skip Typhira. I'm thinking of skipping Typhira, but I... Oh my goodness, sorry. I dropped the little thing that I'm toying with. I've got this little keychain on my desk that had a rubber band. And I ripped the rubber band, so now I just have the chain with none of the keys. Rita, my Typhira is E2. What? You'd skip Rita? Oh my goodness. I guess I will just have to walk alone on this one. I like Rita more than I do Typhira. But how are you finding Typhira to play? I thought she was kind of interesting whenever I was doing the trials, but at the same time, I feel like I need to have a practice or a test trial using Typhira going into a chaos manifestation. It's really difficult to just look at all of these cards and, like, through some of the practice missions, like, oh, these are the potential decks that you could build with her, because they're not difficult enough. They're not difficult enough, so I don't know if it's any good at all. I want to be able to bring in a character into Chaos Manifestations, like one of the banner characters, I don't know, like once or twice per week or something, right? I want to be able to do that. I want to see how they play in a Chaos Manifestation. I don't need to use them outside of the Chaos Manifestation whatsoever. I just want to know how they play. I barely played her, so I can't say much, and when I farmed her, I mostly played one Hue per turn, and that's it. Chad Hue player. Yeah, I guess I'll just play Hue Massacre and just wipe all the enemies. Yeah. The current Chaos Manifestation is very dependent on that, to be fair. I don't know. I'm not sold on it. I'm also not sold on the fact that it's like, just having to roll for E2 is kind of what puts me off of rolling for Typhira, because obviously her kit is really good, but I don't know how I feel personally I haven't used her in a Chaos Manifestation. I've only used, like, end kits that she was provided to with a pre-made team for some of the practice trials and whatnot. I've not been able to throw her into one of my teams to see how she performs, and it feels like you need to get E2. I know it's probably not the case. A lot of characters do well without E2, but the fact that she gets this card, like with when your shape effects stack to 3, you just create one of these cards. That feels like really good. That feels really essential to getting a bunch of card draw out of it. Like, even if I compare Sereniel, when I find her, there she is. She's literally one above. This one, 50% to damage amount and activatable to 5. Yeah, it's significant, but it's not game-changing in how her deck is. At the start of battle, create 2 homing laser and then draw 1 if you draw an a homing laser in your opening hand. Like, not game-changing. Very good, though. And I do have the whatchamacallits, the ultimate egos, so that I can use 2 of them, like, just in case I wanted to build Serenial to E2. But Typhira, these feel mandatory. This feels mandatory. To get 3 stacks, which allows me to either heal or to increase my next attack damage by 30%, up to 90, I suppose, if you get the same one, or to be able to draw 3 times. Yeah. Draw 3 archetype cards, that's that's quite a lot, actually, because that's theoretically, if in best case, either that is plus 3 AP, or that is, let's see, we're, here we go. Oh no, I wanted to check this one. Or it is another 90. So it doesn't even matter. You just draw 3 of the archetype cards, and that is apparently enough. So you could just go square, 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 draw into all of your cards, then draw even more cards. Like, it's that game-changing, you know, by being at E2 with Typhira. I don't know if I want to invest in that. I would rather try my luck and not fail the coin flip this time, waiting for Rita rather than rolling for Typhira. Even if I think Typhira is cute, even if I think Typhira has a pretty interesting kit, I don't know if it's worth the agony of me losing the coin flip again. We'll have to see. If it comes to the decision of either Rita or Typhira, it will be Rita. For me, it's Rita. Lucky for you, I'm a Rita lover. And I am oh so close to being able to get some of these memory codes. So, worst case, I suppose I get Typhira one day and she ends up in here. But in speaking of some of the combatants, I do hope that they make Reen's ego manifestations maybe a bit better. Like, plus 20% to secret dark dance, black dance. Nah. Create 1 sheath sword. It's okay. Oh wait, actually that one's actually pretty good. Maybe that one is pretty good. Actually, now I'm changing my mind. But it could be. It's not nearly as powerful as Typhira's E2. Is what I'm trying to get at. What I'm trying to say is that Typhira's E2 kind of like makes her really strong. And whenever I look at other E2s of the 5-star variety, exploit opening, it's good. It's not Typhira though. And then when I look at Sereniel, it's good. It's not Typhira though. It's a lot more damage, that's for sure. But yeah, E2 is nothing compared to her E6. And now I need to check what her E6 is. Let's see. Where are you, Typhira? There you are. Your manifest ego, E6. Typhira's unique cards receive damage amount increase effects gained from archetype. Triangle cards, but are changed to not be consumed. Wait, what? Damage amount increase effects gained from archetype triangle cards are changed to not be consumed. At the start of battle, change archetype's triangle's damage amount effect to increase from 30 to 35%, and max stacks from 300 to 350. What? So they don't permanent 350% if you attack with Typhira. Yeah, that's nuts. It just doesn't consume it whatsoever? My gosh. Okay. That's, yeah. I thought here that some of the characters, like, I don't know, Sereniel had quite a busted kit, but even that, like, her E6 doesn't nearly do something that crazy. When I think of some of the E6s, wait, did Chizuru get a really strong one? I don't think she did. Increase hit count by 1? No, not really. That's not that big of a change. Haru, what does she have? Damage reduction for anchor shot? Are we kidding? No, damage reduction on anchor shot. What about 9? Inflict 15% is fixed damage. That's okay. I mean, that's, you know, 15%. But that's not bad. What about Veronica? I've never played her. At the start of the turn, inflict 1 mark on all enemies afflicted with floral scent. Okay, I don't know what that means. Each time a dirigible is drawn, deal 50% extra damage to a random enemy. That's pretty okay. I've only played like the couple of test runs that you get with her, so I don't know what hers are like. At the start of the turn, apply hunting mark 1 to a random enemy. When hit by the effect of commence the hunt, gain 1 morale for 1 turn. Remove when triggered or when hunting mark is applied to another target. I mean, gaining that much morale? Okay, not bad. What about Narya? At the end of the turn... No. No, no, no. Wait. No. Yeah, I can't say the same. It doesn't feel like, at least for some of the other characters, that they have just that amount of potential. No pun intended with the actual potential screen, but you get what I mean. I hope I don't pull any more men. Let's see. Oh, when creating a futility card. I mean, sure. Sure, it's something. It's something. But it's, not Typhira. I do want more Cassius, though. I want more Cassius. I want Cassius to be at E6. Apply 1 morale reduction. It doesn't really matter whatsoever that you get him to E6. But I like him. He's my own... He's not a... Well, I don't know if I call him a guy or anything. He's a robot skeleton, and that's my cope. It says he here, but we refer to him as it. That way I keep my streak of not building any male characters. Yes, that's exactly what I'll do. I guess Veronica would be nice to have as a support maybe one day. I wonder... I don't know, I saw people building Meilin for her weakness attack damage stuff, but then they also pair her with characters like Selena or Veronica to deal those massive amount of multi-hits. So, I don't know. It's hard to say. Oh, we can do a approve an arc policy? I don't have anyone left. But, also, yesterday, I was doing a bit of a virtual voice for too long. I think I might end stream a little bit earlier today. My voice still hasn't fully recovered from that yesterday. I think, that's being said. Wait, let's turn on the music preemptively this time. Whoa! Turned it on preemptively. Can you believe that? I'm becoming a little bit worn out. I think that might be where I stop things for today. My voice still recovering, as said, from the virtual thing. I'm still posting shorts and whatnot daily. I've got my schedule and whatnot on X that maybe I'll adjust after that discussion with Helios. Maybe I'll do a stream on Saturday instead of Sunday and see how that goes. I don't know, because I can always, or stream on Sunday instead of Saturday, and then I can do the Sunday one at the same time that I would normally stream, and that way there aren't, like, any conflicts, so to speak. But, who knows? Maybe that's something that I'll adjust for next week. Either way, thank you so much for watching. You can find me on basically any social media, but I hope you follow, hope you check it out. For next time, spoke a bit about each of the characters, and tomorrow we'll be continuing with a bit of Devil May Cry 4. Still doing that whole Dante Must Die difficulty on Virgil. And now that I don't have to do this silly voice or do Virgil's voice, hopefully I can get through it. Hopefully. Thank you so much once again. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.